It's a first. King Charles is hosting his first state visit since becoming British monarch, welcoming our own President Cyril Ramaphosa to Buckingham Palace. SABC News' political editor Mzwandile Mbeje is in the UK and joins us now. Mzwa, thank you for being with us. So now that you know exactly how it all works, how does a king receive a president?
Well, a very good evening to you, Francis and Mbongiwe, and of course the viewers back in South Africa. Well, the King of UK accepts or welcomes the President by rolling out the red carpet in the most British way you can imagine. Pageantry, pomp and ceremony are what Britain is known for. That's exactly what transpired at Buckingham Palace when King Charles welcomed the first head of state to be invited to Buckingham Palace since he ascended the throne in September. So clearly this was a great occasion, Francis, so that many people witnessed, and it was very interesting knowing how the invitations relating to state visits here are issued. They invite one or two heads of state per year. Just imagine, at the beginning of his reign, our president has already got that invite. I hope and suspect that this is meant to send a very strong message that the relations between the two countries are very strong, or they intend to make them very, very strong.
And you told us yesterday one of the things on the agenda could have been climate change. Of course, Cyril Ramaphosa has been an advocate for the African nation, pushing for compensation, and King Charles is passionate about that. Do we know what they discussed? And then also, what will the president say when he addresses MPs later?
Well, by and large, his meeting with King Charles III is now ceremonial. Remember, once you become the king here, your responsibility is ceremonial. So he does now get involved in the nitty-gritties of running the country. But King Charles is really an activist of climate change. He's a great environmentalist. So issues like those he certainly would raise with the president, given our own history and our own trajectory as well as a country where we're heading to. You've just mentioned the issue of just transition. So those issues will definitely come up, but not necessarily in detail, as I've said, because now the king, his role is really to oversee the people who will listen to him, who will be able to take action around these issues, Francis, are these people who are behind me here. Just behind me here, my colleague Tulo will show you this building. This is Parliament building. So this is where lawmakers of Britain sit. And in the next hour, our president will be given the rare opportunity of addressing this parliament. And how that happens is that when you get invited to this country for a state visit by the king, if that state visit perhaps is at a level where it's considered to be very important and significant, then the king requests Parliament that it hosts that foreign head so that he or she can address the MPs here. So what the president is going to be doing here, Francis, is that he will lay out the vision of South Africa insofar as getting our economy back on track, insofar as addressing the challenges of energy, for example, that we are battling with, insofar as dealing with issues of skills and unemployment. So these people here who are lawmakers will sit there, listen to him, and take note of what he's saying if he means it. Remember, he himself is facing a number of issues back home, and I'm sure some of them will raise it with him. Before he speaks to the members of parliament, he will have some private engagements with some of the people here. I suspect they may use that opportunity to perhaps to find out, so what's happening? There's an impeachment process that is going on. They may want to understand better what exactly that means, and they may even ask him about as we've been seeing in the reports here about the robbery that took place at Palapala. You remember some of the newspapers and even channels here were saying, well, the president is faced with not reporting the crime that happened in his farm back in South Africa. So I don't know how far that will go, but certainly privately, some of the members who are interested may raise that. But on the whole, the president, who will be the only one who will speak here, will raise the issues that affect the country, the issues of the economy, climate change, energy, and everything that will get South Africa back to work.
Yeah, let's consider that those MPs have heard from Lord Peter Hain. He's been pushing for action to be taken against companies because of state capture in South Africa. They would know that we are experiencing incredible rolling blackouts this year. So please keep on that. We'll see how the president faces those reputational issues and presents a vision for the future, considering that the UK is such an important trade partner for South Africa. That was Mzwandile Mbeje, SABC News' political editor.